So coming up back in the day, it was really hard as far as like trying to grow my brand. You know, I was a young dude that lacked a lot of understanding on like how all this stuff works. And I was throwing spaghetti at the wall, trying to figure out why isn't nothing really sticking with my brand, you know, and why wasn't it really growing? Even though that it did grow within a, 1 month to 18 month period, I went from 0 to 6 figures, but it was a long 18 months. I'm telling you, like 10, 12 hours a day, just trying to figure out everything from the marketing to the sales to the production to the design. And it left me kind of like scatterbrained all over the place. But then as I kind of like started elevating my brand and I started seeing what was working and what wasn't working, not just for me, but other people as well with clothing brands, I started figuring out like how people get to 10K very quickly and how people do not get to 10K and they just take years and years of just wasting time. And it comes down to these 3 things I'm about to talk about in this video. So the first reason why a lot of people don't get to $10,000 ever with their clothing brand is because they have a cookie cutter brand. The brand is copy and pasted, is looking like all the Y2K brands on TikTok, is looking like everything that's out there in the market when they haven't even like created a lane for themselves. Now, a lot of people will argue with me against this and be like, well, I'm just going to make what's working because the whole good artist steal or great artist copy or whatever the slogan is. But for me, I look at it like if you can come into a lane and you just built a community and you just created a world that has never existed, even though people aren't buying in right then and there, but on the long term, it's going to look so much more beneficial because when everything dies out within the next 12 to 24 to 48 months with these little Y2K brands and stuff like this, you are actually compounding something over time. And granted, you might not see all your reaps and benefits right then and there, but on the long term, you're going to get more than what you ever asked for. So a lot of reasons why brands don't work out, because the first ideal that they have is like, oh, let me just go be like person A and person B. When person A and person B more than likely don't even have a vision themselves, and they're not going to even be around the next 10 to 12 to 48 months, even with their brand. So why would you follow somebody and just try to be a copy and paste version of them? When 1, you're not being authentic to yourself. 2, you're looking like everybody else on the market. And 3, you're going to die out like everybody else as well. So the second idea that a lot of clothing brands don't work out at all is just due to simple product market fit. A lot of people are trying to drop stuff, they trying to come up with their own passions and everything like that. And I'm all for that. But at the same time, if the marketplace does not want your shit, it's just like you have to pivot from that. And a lot of people can't do that because, especially if you're a creator, because you're already coming into this with like this narcissist mindset as far as like, this is my design, and you become a tyrant. It's all about me, and my work and my passion, and people should buy in when the marketplace does not work like that. When you put something out to the market, they perceive what's valuable and what's not. If Supreme was inside of Kmart right now, it wouldn't be perceived as valuable, right? But the way that they built out the storytelling and their whole entire brand identity, that's what's made them so compelling, and that's what's had people value their brand, and that's moved them up the hierarchy. And a lot of people, they don't want to spend time trying to build something that's going to actually last. So with all that being said, I kind of look at the product market fit almost like your swinging average at bat, right? So me and you went up to the baseball stand and me and you sitting there about to swing, right? And the pitcher throwing curveballs and all this other stuff. How many strikeouts are you going to get? A lot, right? It's only a select few people that hit home runs so many times, but not every single product is going to be a home run product. So that's how I kind of look at the product market fit. You know what I mean? It's like you got to keep throwing stuff out to the market, and if they're not buying in, and then that's when you got to adapt, because if you don't adapt, that's when you're going to die. So some products you might swing out, it might not hit at all. Some of them you might swing and it might just go to first base. Some you might hit and then it goes to center field. Some you might hit and then you hit that grand slam home run, right? And then that has now officially changed the whole trajectory of your life. But my whole thing is you would have never got to the home run if you didn't take hella swings. And that's what a lot of people are scared to do. And that's why a lot of people don't have product market fit brands, because they're just coming in and they're narrow-minded and they're like, the whole world should be buying this. When it's like, bro, you have to keep putting stuff out, keep swinging. I know people that done swung 100 times and literally like the 101 hit was a home run, but it made up for all of those 100 strikeouts that they took with their products. So you want to keep always putting stuff out to the market and make sure that you have a product market fit with your brand. So with that being said, that leads me to my last idea why a lot of clothing brands will not work. It's just due to the simple fact that they don't have a brand identity. You always want to remember that people want to be a part of something. So if you haven't created this world and the message and the creed, and the messaging is all on point from the models to the lookbooks to the designs to what the brand overall represents, and it's all funneling under one umbrella, if it's not cohesively making sense, then why should somebody buy into it? You always have to remember that the average person is seeing 200 advertisements a day. So why should somebody stop stop and scroll onto something that they don't know, they don't like, yet do they even fucking trust? You know what I mean? So my whole thing is, I see a lot of brands that will guarantee always fail is when they don't have a brand identity. I've seen brands with 100 followers and they have such a strong identity that when they get to 1,000 followers or 5,000, it's almost like a lot of brands out here that got 20,000 or 30,000, right? Because those are 100% devoted people for that community, for that creed and what the brand is about, the messaging and everything. So when it comes into like building out your brand identity, I highly advise you guys to watch this video that I have above about starting your clothing brand in the year 2023. And I shaped out in that video like how to make your brand identity a lot stronger, because when somebody comes in to buy your product, let's just say you have a bunch of machine guns on the hoodie and then you got a whole bunch of clowns on hoodie B. That is not cohesively making sense. Like, people want to buy into a story, people want to be a part of something. Why do you think religion and politics and all these things are like the biggest things that like kind of rule this world? Because everybody's looking to be a part of something. So my thing to you is, why don't we just create a world that has never existed? We just take that front end punch, right, on the front end, knowing that we might not be profitable for the first few months or maybe the first few years, but we just keep giving, and we keep shaping out this beautiful brand identity. And your brand isn't for everybody, it's for a specific somebody. And we just keep talking to that somebody day in and day out, and we can just keep bringing in more and more people of that. On the long term, when all these other brands have fallen off, now that's when you actually get into longevity, because you actually built the foundation the right way. So with all that being said, like I said, you always want to divorce from the result. You want to embrace the craft. And once you do that, then now them byproducts will start chasing you. I hope this video helped you out. And with all that being said, I'll see you in the next one. Love is love. I'm out.